Hey guys, Darren Kelly, here, coach of Wise Ocean Pods, and welcome back to another episode of my team review. So this week's we'll be going over the week 3 results of how my team went. And honestly, I don't have a huge amount of time for this week's video. There is literally less than 2 hours until the first game starts, so I got to get this video produced and uploaded within the next hour or two. So let's get straight into it and go through these quite quickly. So, in week 3, I scored a flat 1200 there, so round rank about 3900. So, very quite poor, I think. Probably another 40 points off par, which seems to be a pretty common theme across what my fantasy season has been so far for the women's. Dropped back in the ranking by about 200 spots, or just over 200 spots. So I was ranked 1,999 last week and dropped back to 2222 this week. So, but where did it all happen, I guess? Because I thought I did okay, but there's just a few poor scores in here that I'm really not happy with. So, a lot of it was in the back line. So I think a lot of us had a lot of struggles in the back line this week with, obviously you can see my top score there was a 61, and that was from Thomas. So that was okay. It's still a bit less than what I wanted from her. She now is dropping coins. She dropped 43k this week, which is pretty disappointing. And I think a lot of people will jump on board her now, so it won't be as unique. But she does have a double game coming up, so no issues there for me. Goldrick had her first blemish with a 53, so not too worried about that one. Time on ground was again pretty huge, just probably was a tougher game against North. Expect that to jump up again, very, very quickly, so no concern there, just a bit frustrating that it was a lower score. The next 3 is where it's a little bit frustrating because Slasher, we've all known that Slasher, I've pretty much been pretty confident to say that she's been a failed mid-pricer and that if you could have traded out, then you should have. So I wish I did in the end, but unfortunately, just given that the double game week is coming and is this week, I decided to hold her, and that has really bitten me in the back because now she's dropped nearly over 100k for the season, and she has dropped over 100k for the season, and yeah, she's given us nothing in the back line. So I think I'm stuck with her this week just because of the double games. Hopefully, she can put up at least an 80. Hopefully, 3 figures would be nice if you can hit back-to-back 50s. That would at least cover off any points, but she probably will drop a fair bit of coin just from what I'm seeing here. If I can look her up, she has a break even of 62. So hopefully she can get back to her 50 ways and not drop too much coin. If she scores like a 50-ish, she'll probably just lose a bit of money there. So hopefully she does okay. Two easy matchups coming in West Coast and Western Bulldogs. So it'll be interesting to see how the ball goes in the back line, particularly because, yeah, obviously the ball won't spend too much time back there, but maybe they do a little chipping around. So fingers crossed she does it okay, but I'm looking at holding her for now. Then the other one is Hoskin. What a terrible trade-in she's been since round 1. Back to what, 36 and now a 43. Absolutely shocking. Just cannot get around the ball. And she's really relied a lot on tackles, like 6 tackles and 7 tackles in the last 2 games. 4 disposals and then jumped up to 7 disposals in the last game. Just really not doing what we saw in that first week where she absolutely dominated the game in her revenge game. So just one of those things again. One of those players that just pop for the first week and then go quiet. So really got to try and decipher who is the pretenders, I guess. But it's a really tricky one. She made a bit of coin, but now she's starting to go backwards. So bit unfortunate there. Again, does have the get double game this coming up. But the interesting thing, she's acting more as a forward than she is a defender. But she's listed as a defender, and she's playing against 2 good teams that are probably going to spend a lot more time forward. So is the ball going to be around her? Probably not as much. Again, fingers crossed she can hit a couple 50s for me and get to 100. Again, she will lose a fair bit of coin, which is a little bit frustrating. So I can understand if you're looking to trade her out. I'm just thinking from a clear points on ground type of scenario that I want to keep her because I feel like I'm already probably a bit light on in terms of how many double game week players I have, if that's the way to say it. So yeah, I'll be keeping her for sure. And the last one was Finn. A little bit unlucky with this one because the conditions in this game I heard were pretty terrible. It just didn't really go to plan. I know Finn Friswell was her opponent, and it pretty much just didn't go on her side of the ground. So to get to a 38 while it was disappointing, I think there's still high hopes that she will return to form pretty quickly as long as the conditions allow it. So I'm still pretty confident that I'll be keeping her, even though her break even is a bit higher now, and she probably won't gain as much cash. But yeah, I still think she'll be fine and worth putting on field. But then the tricky thing is this Watson on the bench. So she was by far my highest scorer in the defense by 35 points, and I had her on the bench, and for good reason. Like, she had not done anything above 45 all season, so it definitely was unexpected, but definitely pretty pleased to get that 190k price jump after holding her that time. So whereas a lot of people had jumped off of her already, so glad to have that cash generation. But it's now a bit of a tricky game whether you look to field her or you look to just back in the more consistent players. Obviously, I'll be fielding Hosking and Slasher this week, having the double games. And I don't think, obviously, and Thomas as well. She has the double games, so that's awesome there. Goldrick, I think I'll just keep because of Fremantle's tighter game style. So they should be more contested balls, should be more tackled. So hopefully that means Goldrick can get a few good points there. So I think these days it's really just a flip of the coin whether I go Finn or I go Watson this week. I'm still not sure quite where I sit. I probably want to go with Watson, I think, because I think it's quite a little bit better of a matchup if I just have a quick look at that. For defenders, Hawthorn, a slightly harder matchup, but if you look for a midfielder, which technically Finn is a winger, don't quite have the Pacific winger type of role, but Richmond are a tougher matchup in that sense. So probably just going to back in Watson, I think. But again, I've gotten a couple of these wrong already. So, which leads me into the midfield where I'm just going to start off with Window. I made the wrong choice again with going Window over a Goody, and that lost me 21 points. So that's already another one that I've got wrong there. So really disappointing. While I thought she did well, she did exactly what I thought, where it was a bit of a contested game. She got a lot of tackles. She just didn't really get the marks or the disposals that I saw last week. So a little bit unfortunate there. But yeah, bit of an annoying one. It got a tougher game this week, so this could be definitely one of the last weeks for those Goody and Window. The only thing I wanted to look at, they do have the double game week the week after, so definitely probably keep them for that week for sure. So but maybe I only need one of them because I probably will have a few others that I want to be fielding in rather than two rookie midfielders in here. So definitely will probably look to trade one of those out next week and cash them out. We'll see how that goes. Just looking forward to what I'm sort of trading. But Marinoff as captain again, easiest choice of my life. She doesn't drop below 121. Awesome, going amazingly. Rowbottom again, been an awesome pick as well. Could have honestly been my captain, but I just don't. If I could do the VCNC, then honestly I would. But I think Marinoff is just the safest option at this point in time. So glad I've been starting those. Anderson was the disappointing one though, trading her in last week to put up that 77. Did cop a bit of attention, so that was probably something I could have avoided. But at the end of the day, I really wanted her for this game, particularly this double game week. So she's obviously going to be my captain against the two easy opponents. The only concern I have is if she doesn't play both games, which there is a potential, but I think she's a professional player and she should get up for both those games. And then the next one, Blackburn, unfortunately, is injured and done for the season, is from what I'm hearing. Don't think I have quite confirmation of that yet, but I know she's definitely done for this game with, I think it was an ankle or a knee. I did see that she went down late in that fourth, so really disappointing because would have really loved her to have the double game round that she got. Even though it was tougher, she definitely would have been a good point scorer. She's been pretty good all season, so would have been nice to have her. But now she's a forced trade, so we'll get into some trade options later. Breed 38, she's pretty much dried up all her cash generation now, so she's probably one I will look to trade out this week. Break even 51, her average is 53, so probably one I'll look to trade out, honestly, and just exhaust that cash. 600k already is mad. But I did trade out Morphet, and I was happy with Odor. Exactly what I sort of expect, that 65 to 70 range. She put it right in the middle there. And that was a tougher opponent as well. She only got the 14 hitouts to, I think, Bella's 40. So hopefully in the coming weeks she should get more hit outs, and that should also increase her output a little bit more. So I'm really happy with how she's going, and I'm happy to have her on field for a little while longer. Understanding that I will probably lose a bit of points this week, particularly with the likes of, what's her name? Edmonds, has highly owned she is. She has a double game this week, so she probably puts up 150 or so. So I'll probably lose maybe 75 points there. There is potential I may actually field Holton here. Halton? Yeah, I think it's right. She's been going really well as a rookie pickup. She gained 80k last week and does have the double games again. The good ones as well, Western Bulldogs and the Eagles. So hopefully that maybe even be a 90, if not 100, if I'm lucky. So there's probably a potential I will field her over the likes of Odor at the moment, but we'll see how that eventuates. Then into the forward line, Kate Hoare, just doing Kate Hoare things, happy with 75. Even though she's dropping some coins, she's by far the best forward to have, so no concern there. Katie Brennan, she finally put up a best score of 85. She did rely on 3 goals and 2 behinds in that, but this is sort of what we've been expecting. Time on ground was a little bit lower, but I'm happy with holding her. She's gone up in cash this week, so fingers crossed she continues that way. I think I'm reading that right. She's gonna go up coin, or she went up 33. I can't exactly remember, but yeah, she's doing okay. I look to hold her. She got Carlton this week as well, so she should be really good. And she does have the double game next week, so that's another thing I'll touch on a little bit later. Now into the forward line, into the back end of the forward line. Really happy with Tripodi, but then the last two sort of fell off for me. I had the late out of Huntington, so that was a little bit of a shuffle that I had to make with fielding Annabelle here. 31, sorry, it was not really what I was expecting, but definitely better than a donut, so I'll take it. Probably only lost me maybe 19 points, 20 points at most. Huntington's probably good for a 50, so not too bad, but definitely not what I wanted. And same with Powergo, 33, just not what I wanted, and probably is an interesting one because there are a few GWS players out at the moment, so interesting whether I hold her. Her cash is pretty much dried up now. She's not making any more money, so I probably can trade her out and get a few other good options in there. And finally, Goody as a utility there, making some good coins, so she's not much of an issue. Again, I'll probably look to hold her. Time on ground is coming really good now, which is really surprising, and yeah, really positive thing that she might get a few more points. So she'll probably be the one I hold through next week. But what am I doing this week? So go to round 4. So you can see I've already done my trades already. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I may make one change though to this. So obviously I kept a lot of the double game weeks. I really want to maximize that now. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, only 7 so far. So I think 7, if not, I have 8 if I want to bring on a Holton. So I think I might do that just to have 8. I think 8's probably about right where most people are at. So I'm bringing in Davy off of her 110. I think she looked really good. This is sort of what I'm expecting. Her price is going to go up as well. 2 great matchups. I probably just preferred her a little bit over what's her name? I can't remember how to pronounce her name, but she's not out. She's out anyway, sorry. Benici, sorry. That's how you say it. So she's out, so that should free up Davy a lot and give up a lot more points. So I think she's a no-brainer. She's good price. She should go up in coin as well. So that's an easy sideways trade from Blackburn. I cashed out Breed to Ramos, who has played all season but has put up a nice couple 43s and 47s there. Lower time on ground, but 2 games, so she should put up a 90, hopefully, in those 2 easier games. So that's also a really nice one, just to throw in there. Don't have to really play that who do I field over Goody or Window, so I'm happy with her there. And the final one I traded in was Hodder, but I'm thinking I may change that trade because I was tossing up between Campbell or Hodder, and I think Campbell's probably just showing a little bit more of a ceiling, even though she is a bit more expensive. I do have the coin to go to her. She's been pretty consistent. The Collingwood have been riddled with injuries, so I don't think there's any concern with her getting rested. She's also getting more midfield time, even though I don't expect those 17 tackles to be a consistent source of scoring for her. Just nice to see that she's been slowly increasing her uh, CBA usage, with a few others going out here and there, and probably a bit of management going on over the likes of a Hodder, who's only getting, what's that, 24%, and hasn't really shown that she's going to get a bump in any point in time. So I think I'll go with a Campbell instead, and fingers crossed she's probably a bit more of a hold for a little while longer. I'm just looking at the run real quick for forwards. So good week next week with Gold Coast as well, and then maybe I can look to shift her on at that point where she does have a tougher run, whereas a Hodder has Adelaide straight after, then it opens up a little bit. But it's a really tough and turn. I don't think they're going to be too far apart at the end of the day, so I could definitely justify going the cheaper option, but I think in this case I'll just go with Campbell on this one. So that's my trades. Gone Breed, Ramos, Blackburn to Davey, and then Powanga to Campbell. All obviously focusing on those double game weeks, which coincidentally all of them are fucking Collingwood players, which didn't mean to do that, but I did. And this is probably how we're going to structure up for the week. Obviously, go on the VC on Davey, which I don't have a red dot currently at the moment, but if someone were to miss out, like a Huntington, if she doesn't get up after her management last week, then I could potentially take the VC option, but we'll wait and see on that one. But I'm really bullish on having Anderson as my captain. At the end of the day, she should put up 200s, and then that's 200 points times 2, so 400 there, which is better than going at just a straight off Marinoff. Well, it potentially could be, but it should be there. Team's looking okay. I still think I'm probably a Perimo behind at the stage. Cash generation has been pretty poor to start off the season, just starting off with those sort of higher price, like a Morfitt, and obviously a Too Good didn't help as well, but that is it. It is what it is. We'll keep trucking along. We'll keep moving. Hopefully, we can keep going up in the ranking. I guess I should quickly go through some of the other good options that you guys should consider. So in the defense, Webster was really good and consistent again. I don't mind Garada. She had a pretty high ceiling this week. Obviously has the double game week. But yeah, really focusing on those double game weeks. So bringing in Thomas, I think if you don't have her, she's definitely a good one you could bring into as well. She'll be a keeper for the rest of the season. Just touching on Sheeran, she's definitely one I'll be targeting next week when she comes into her double game week. So she's definitely in my trade plans. Hopefully she does drop a little bit more in coin, so that makes it a bit easier. But more than likely I'll be trading out a Schleicher and a Hoskin, both of them next week. So that should give me plenty of coin to go to the likes of a Sheeran, and then I'll probably trade out a Davey instantly to the likes of whether that's a, what's her name, Garner, or a Riddell. Spell the names. Probably leaning towards Riddell over Gardner at the moment, just with a more consistent scoring at the moment. Obviously likes to get hands on the ball. So, but she is relying on a few more goals than what Gardner is. So, not Gardner. Garner, sorry. So that's all my trade plans for next week. I will be cashing out a few of these mid prices and sidewaysing the Bree Davy to go to those sort of players that I'll look to hold for a period of time, and that'll probably be the main source of what's going to be happening next week. And then obviously I'll probably downgrade the likes of maybe a window or something like that to make the cash possible, and then bring in another. Depending on how the cash goes, maybe another primo mid. If not, I'll just go to a mid pricer and get the double game week and get some points there too. But yeah, that's pretty much a quick one dusted for week 3, leading into week 4. So yeah, obviously it's going to be pretty tight. We got tonight's game and then Wednesday night, and going forward from there. And next week it also does the same thing, Tuesday through to Sunday. So it's really, really tight turnarounds. Just going on that, I probably won't be able to put out a video next week just because I am away. Yeah. Could make a joke that now that Hawthorn are out of the AFL finals, I booked my September holidays, but nah, I've had these booked for a little while. So yeah, going away for just for a week, so won't be able to produce any videos next week. So don't be expecting anything from me next week, unfortunately, but I will be back the week after. So best of luck with everything for the next 2 rounds, and I'll catch you guys back in round 6. All right, catch you later, guys. Bye.